Okay, everyone, welcome. I'm going to point out a couple of interesting things about the stock market that I think is important to take note of for today. We're going to use technical analysis. Let's get right into it. But real quick, before I do, leave me a thumbs up. And then again, if you're new or you want to learn some of the skill sets that I use when analyzing the charts and trading, take my training course. It's in the description below. It's a $99 price, which is a pretty fair value. So let's get right into it, and I'll show you guys what I'm seeing. So triple Qs, here's what we've got. We've got this bearish rising wedge here on the hourly chart, and we have been pinching. We're just starting to break. So watch for this. You know, this, you want to see when we get a breakdown, or if it actually continues to break down, you want it to be impulsive. If it's not impulsive and they just kind of keep it in this area and recover it, that's not what we're looking for. What we're looking for is impulsive selling, and you'll notice it because it will, you know, the market kind of falls off a cliff when you get this impulsive selling. So keep an eye on that. Now we do, you know, obviously I think a sell-off is coming. I've been looking for the sell signal. I've been talking about that in multiple videos. We have bearish divergence on the hourly chart here. You can see that the momentum has been fading, and we have a bearish rising wedge pattern. So all in all, everything is set up bearish in the short term. If I roll out to the daily chart, we've got bearish divergence on the daily here. Starting to confirm too. See the RSI, how it's starting to turn down. So we're starting to confirm. Now we don't have a PPO crossover. What you want to see is the blue line cross bearish through that orange line right there, and that would be a confirming divergence. But again, we're starting to see price action play out. So we're going to keep an eye on this. And again, going back to the hourly, look for an impulsive breakdown. Next up, SPY. You can see here on the hourly, we're starting to break down on the hourly as well. Not impulsive yet. So again, it's starting to sell off, but it's not a sell signal yet. When you get that impulsive breakdown, that's what we're looking for. You can see here on the hourly, yeah, we have negative divergence on the hourly. It's right here. You can see we're just kind of starting to drop off with momentum. And if you look at the daily here, you'll also notice big negative divergence on the daily that has been in play for a while. So we also have a bearish rising wedge. So again, just looking for that bearish breakdown sell signal, and that should trigger the the next trend to the downside, which I believe could be substantial. Moving on to gold. So we got that reaction that I was talking about. Here's your downtrend line in gold. I mentioned this just yesterday, and we came right up to that. Let's go to the hourly. I'll show you. We popped right up to resistance, and we got a sell, a pullback or a reaction. So if gold's going to break out now to the upside, you'd expect it probably to do it soon. We'll watch for that. I don't see any kind of divergences on the hourly, bullish divergences. And on the daily, I don't see any bullish divergences yet either. So we might undercut these lows like I've talked about. You know, if we make a slight undercut of these lows right here and gold sells off, and it does it anytime soon, you'll get that bullish divergence, which is what this line right here is anticipating. So watch for that. We don't have anything, we don't have bullish divergence yet, so it doesn't mean that we can't sell off a little bit more, but we'll watch for it to show up. And again, the dollar, I've been talking about the potential for, a move higher in the dollar. The reason why is we've got bullish divergence on the daily chart right here. That's it's not fully confirmed, but the RSI is starting to turn up. And we don't have that PPO crossover. Look for the blue line to cross above the orange. But again, that is starting to set up. And if anybody's interested in how I set up my charts, it's all in my trading course. You'll find the link in the description below. I tell you exactly how I set up my charts, so you'll be able to follow along. And you can see here, let me go to the hourly on the dollar. You can see we're starting to break higher. Again, the dollar moving higher is bearish for the stock market in general. So watch for markets to sell off if the dollar is going to continue to move higher. PayPal here, negative divergence on the hourly continues to build. We've got a uptrend basically, and we're waiting for that sell signal or bearish break on the hourly chart. On the daily, We also have negative divergence on the daily. You can see it's a pretty big divergence. It's really been building for quite some time now, really extending, well, to about right there. And it just continues to be in place. So the technicals tell me that this is still bearish, still set up to the downside, and you just got to wait for that bearish break. I think it's coming very soon. And you can see where what this thing's been doing really since November. You know, it's been doing nothing. I mean, it's just kind of grinding around these little tiny candles, just, you know, coiling up for some sort of a break, either to the upside or the downside. I think it's going down because the divergences are telling me that's the direction it's going to head. Nvidia. All right, so Nvidia, daily chart, big bearish divergence. It's been extending for quite some time now, and we have really gone nowhere in Nvidia really since the high here of September. So it's basically sideways. The momentum says down. You can see the price action starting to break down. Here's your hourly chart. We had a slight little uptrend right here. We got a sell signal. We've been getting a series of these uptrend lines and then sell signals. This one, we could probably just get rid of this one. But as of right now, there's a sell signal and a little kickback and then continuation of the trend. So the break of this trend line here tells me in the short term, we have a downtrend happening. But then going back to the longer time frame on the daily tells me that we are, you know, we've got this big bearish divergence and we're potentially putting in a top. And that's what this big sideways action is potentially a top where we're going to break down. Now, a move above the highs right here, up around 590, would be bullish because that would be recovering and making a new high. But if it doesn't anytime soon, likely going to continue the bearish divergence. So that's what I got on that one. DraftKings today, here's your hourly chart, and it did an up. You got this upward channel. It's been working since November, and then it broke. So this is your sell signal here. And today, you know, they did a kickback rally, and I was watching it, and it was this impulsive, just on the 1 minute chart, it just shot straight up to the resistance line. So I added to my short position right up here at resistance, and now you can see we're getting rejected and continuing to the downside. So this still looks good to head down. On the daily chart, if you look, this could be still playing out this big bearish pattern where you have a sell-off, you have the kickback rally, and then you continue the sell-off, and that puts us, you know, somewhere in this range around $25, 30, 40. Those are both support zones. You also have a support zone right here at 35.50. So I think we continue down in DraftKings, and I'm continuing to watch that. Flipping over to triple Qs, it looks like we're getting our sell signal now, guys. So this, I'm starting to add to my short positions with the anticipation that this is a sell signal. Again, I'd like to see this hourly candle that we're in sell off impulsively. The more impulsive, the higher probability that this is a actual sell signal. Let's look at volatility real quick. You can see volatility still kind of muted, so watch for volatility to explode to the upside as well if we get that sell signal and it really starts to confirm. But volatility, you have a bullish divergence right here. You can see here, see how on the hourly you've got a higher momentum indicator than the previous low. So momentum's trending up. Price has been trending down. You wait for the buy signal or the breakout. Now, volatility likely will come in the form of a gap up. That's typically how this thing does. It will gap up and then explode to the upside. So we'll watch for that. The PPO here is starting to turn up. See the blue line, how it's starting to turn up towards the orange. So you look for the crossover to help confirm that divergence. It looks bullish in the short term at least. Solar stocks, I'm starting to see these things break down. So here's First Solar. This one I don't like. I'm not going to trade this one. It's had too many false breakdowns. My trend line going back here on the hourly back to the March lows, and you walk up. It looks like we had a bear trap right there and then another bear trap right there. So I'm not going to get involved with this one. There's too many bear traps that this is set. So I'm going to just watch it for confirmation on some of these others. But you can see we're starting to break down again impulsively. So Looks like a sell signal. Looking at run here, run is continuing lower. So as far as I can tell, this was really your back test of the broken trend line. Here's run going back to the March lows. Here's your uptrend line right there. And then we broke. We did a back test and came in for almost another back test, but it didn't quite get there, and it since sold off. Kickback rally, and then we continued down. So that looks down. Tesla. So this is the king of the solar stocks, and this is the one you really want to see break to really start the bleeding in these other solar stocks. If Tesla breaks, the others are going to break pretty bad. And you can see we have this uptrend line. We really on Tesla, we had this uptrend line right here. We broke it, created another uptrend line. We're starting to break. It's not super impulsive yet, so I'm watching for that, some sort of impulsive breakdown. But I can't imagine if triple Qs and the large cap tech breaks down, I can't imagine Tesla just continuing to the moon. Tesla's a very, it's a momentum stock. So when the momentum breaks in the market, the momentum's really going to break in the stocks that are pretty much based on only momentum. So watch for that. That's why I've been interested in a short on Tesla. So far, it hasn't been working out. But again, position sizing on these high beta, these high volatility stocks is important. I never take a extremely large position size. I take a much smaller position size in this than I would in something like ExxonMobil or triple Qs or whatever. So that's just how I play that. All right, NEO here. So NEO's just kind of going sideways, but it is down today. So we'll wait and see what, I don't see anything, I think this just continues lower basically. And that's really all I see in this is, they spiked it up to resistance at twice right here. It got rejected at 48.22, rejected again. So I think we head lower, especially if these other solar stocks continue to sell off. So watch Tesla. Okay, that's all I got. I'll try to get the video out because it looks like we're getting that sell signal. So I want you guys to be able to take action if you're able to. Again, everything in this video, everything in this channel is just my trade opinion. No, this is not trading advice. So thank you. Catch you guys on the next one.